Have you ever noticed the quiet ones online? The ones who don't post, don't share, don't announce themselves. Yet somehow they see it all. In a world obsessed with being seen, their silence speaks louder than any status. Stick around, because understanding them might just change the way you think about yourself. We live in an age where everything is on display. Birthdays, coffee cups, sunsets, laughter, even pain, all filtered and polished. Millions share everything, but some people simply don't. They scroll silently, observe deeply, and speak very little. Maybe you know someone like that, or maybe you are someone like that, and that raises a question. Why would someone choose silence in a world that celebrates noise? It's easy to assume they're shy or introverted, but the truth is deeper. For some, quiet isn't a void, it's a choice. It's control. It's the freedom to decide what the world sees and what it doesn't. Social media has rewritten how we define ourselves. It rewards display, applauds attention-seeking, and mistakes visibility for value. But the quiet ones, they've stepped out of that game. They don't post to prove who they are. They live to discover who they are. Psychologists have found that people who post less often tend to show higher self-control, introspection, and emotional independence. They're less swayed by comparison and more rooted in themselves. When you stop posting, something shifts. You stop performing and you start living. You stop thinking in captions and start feeling in moments. These people aren't rejecting technology. They're reclaiming reality. They've seen how easily perception can be manipulated, and they've chosen what's real: silence, depth, imperfection, truth. There's a fascinating concept in psychology called psychological ownership. The feeling that something truly belongs to you, a thought, a memory, a moment. But once you post it, that ownership fades. It becomes public property, open to judgment, misunderstanding, even mockery. So the people who don't post aren't hiding. They're protecting. They're guarding the sanctity of their experiences, keeping them pure, private, theirs. And maybe that's not loneliness. Maybe it's freedom. Think about it. When was the last time you did something meaningful and didn't feel the urge to share it? That impulse to post isn't natural. It's conditioned. Years of likes, shares, and dopamine loops have trained us to equate validation with value. So when someone steps outside that cycle, it's not rejection, it's healing. They cook without photographing it. They travel without tagging it. They feel without captioning it. But silence isn't always peace. Sometimes it comes from fear. Fear of judgment, rejection, or misunderstanding. Psychologists call this self-presentational pressure. The anxiety of always feeling watched. It's exhausting. So some retreat, not to disconnect, but to protect themselves. Ironically, those who appear quiet online often have the loudest minds. They're not absent, they're overflowing. They just choose stillness over spectacle. In a world shouting, "Look at me," invisibility becomes a quiet declaration of self. I exist beyond your perception. Not everything we experience is meant to be seen. Growth, grief, transformation, they often happen quietly, off-screen, unposted. That's where identity is formed, not performed. When you step back from the noise, you notice something profound. Who reaches out without prompts? Who remembers without reminders? Those unscheduled, authentic connections feel heavier, warmer, more human. That's where the quiet ones live. They don't need proof of connection. They build relationships that breathe without Wi-Fi. This is identity security. Knowing who you are, even if nobody's watching. It's not ego. It's peace. The quiet ones often have the most compelling stories. They just save them for the dinner table, not the feed. Connection for them isn't measured in likes or comments. It's in eye contact. Laughter that doesn't need witnesses. Being unseen doesn't mean being insignificant. It means your identity is being shaped, not staged. When you stop performing for the world, you rebuild what's real. You stop chasing digital intimacy and reclaim human intimacy. When your sense of self isn't echoed in likes and hearts, it solidifies. You stop editing your life. You live it, fully, beautifully, imperfectly. Maybe that's the real revolution. Staying whole in a world that rewards fragments. But silence isn't always calm. Sometimes, it comes from exhaustion. The fatigue of constant comparison. Social media promised connection, but often delivered anxiety. You compare, even when you don't want to. You question your worth, even when you know better. Eventually, some people step away, not bitterly, but to protect themselves. They realize they don't owe anyone a performance or proof of happiness. We've confused visibility with value, but some of the most meaningful moments in life happen without an audience. No cameras, no captions, no crowd, and that's what the quiet ones understand best. Privacy isn't solitude, it's closeness to yourself. When you stop broadcasting, you start listening to your thoughts, your inner voice, your neglected compass. That's not withdrawal, that's a homecoming. Your worth doesn't vanish when nobody's watching. It remains steady, unshaken, like the calm after a storm. They don't need to photograph every sunset to remember it. They live it, fully, quietly. And here's the paradox. The quiet ones feel life most deeply. They're not distracted by performing it. They notice what others overlook. The way light shifts across a wall, the pause before a smile, the laughter behind closed doors. They're present. And presence is the rarest currency in a world obsessed with attention. Yet that presence can make them misunderstood. People might call them distant or cold, but their silence isn't emptiness. It's depth. It's the calm of someone who doesn't need to explain themselves to be understood. They know not every truth belongs to an audience. Some things deserve to remain inviolate, safe from trends and algorithms. Once something enters the public sphere, it's no longer purely yours. And maybe some moments are too sacred for that. So the next time you notice someone who never posts, don't assume they're hiding. Maybe they're just living. Maybe they've remembered what we all forget. That being unseen doesn't mean being alone. That being quiet doesn't mean being empty. That sometimes the truest reflection of who you are is silence. Because in the end, we weren't meant to be performances. We were meant to be people. And those who don't post, they remind us of that. Every quiet, unfiltered, beautifully invisible day. If this resonated, take a moment. Breathe, sit in the silence. Let it sink in. And if you felt a spark of truth here, hit like, share this with someone who understands the quiet, and subscribe for more reflections like this.